Hi Jay, it's Clinton here from Upwork. I thought I'd put together a quick video just to show you my thoughts rather than send you over a bunch of text to read through. It's always easier to digest. So I've got your site up here in front of me. I'm just going to do sort of a quick audit to give you an idea of what I think you're doing well, what I think you're not doing well, and how it would look working with me. So I've got your site here. As I can see, you put a lot of effort into the design, which is great. The site's very visually appealing. You've laid it out really nicely. You've got all these different icons, so aesthetically pleasing to the human eye. It's really good. You've got information about the brands that you've worked for, so that's sort of social support. You've got reviews, so again, that's definitely a must on homepage. You've got some sort of call to action to get here, so that's all good. A few things that I would say you're lacking in on just the homepage from this point of view is some more content. I mean, typically the average you want to see from the standards that Google has mentioned, the average well-ranking first page homepage has about 1,500 words on it, so you're a bit light on content. And the second thing I'd say you're missing from the homepage is something up here in the fold. Now, the top fold is basically what you land on the site and see and the fold would be below this line at the bottom. So that would be below the fold. This is above the fold. I would have over here on the right hand side some sort of contact form where people can contact you straight away, because your homepage is always the most dominant page, and you want something that's going to be grabbing people's attention as soon as they come onto the site, where they can actually leave their details with you. So I see that you have some form of calculator here, but that's below the fold, if you can see what I mean. So you have about 3 to 5 seconds to grab someone's attention, otherwise they're going to bounce. So energy independence stands here, great. You might want to say, sort of, if you're attracting the residential market or the commercial market, you might want to actually put those phrases there, sort of energy contractor, commercial energy contractor, so on and so forth, something which might grab someone's attention a bit more, and you can play around with those. So that's that thing. And then I would also say down at the bottom, it's always very important to have your NAP, which is your name, address, and phone number. So I can see that you've got that on the top, but it's also good to have that at the bottom, along with, if you have a Google My Business map pack, a link here so people can find you for navigational purposes if they're going to drive to. More for an SEO perspective, that's good, but it's also helpful for the users. So that's the sort of initial overview there. I did notice also when coming up to solutions here, I think what you've done here is, this is a menu, but this menu, from what I found, each of these pages all go to the same page. So this solutions to break the resilience guide, that's there, and I think, you know, as a menu, I think you've just got all of these going to the same page, which may not be of any benefit to you to have like 6 links, because the hierarchy of your site does look good, but this structure here of having sort of 6 different links all going to the same page it's not going to benefit the user experience in any way. So that might be a reason that you mentioned the mega menu in your thing. You can definitely make the mega menu use and work for you by providing just more options to navigate to what your services are, maybe here. But yeah, I just didn't really understand why all these 6 were going to the same. It doesn't make sort of sense from an algorithm's point of view. But otherwise, good. News and insights, looks like you've got a good amount of blog content on there. And of course, under closer inspection, we might find that there's room for improvement, or definitely stuff to expand on there. But of course, this is just what your site looks like on the surface. I know you mentioned you use SEMrush. This is just a different tool. At the end of the day, tools are just a guideline. They're never sort of 100% accurate. Google wouldn't allow it, but this sort of gives us a general overview. So I can see that your DR, which is obviously the most important, your domain rating, that shows how authoritative you are. So that's relatively low. That could definitely do with being higher. I can see the number of backlinks that you also have is low, and referring domains is low. You're ranked for a good number of keywords, which is generating you this amount of organic traffic at that value that those keywords are valued at by the tool. So I mean, I just want to have a quick look down here over how you've been over the last year. So there's been sort of a steady incline, which is good for the amount of referring domains. So you obviously have had some active SEO campaign along with the pages. Domain rating sort of took a big drop. from 33 down to where you are, 4 and 5 now. So this might have been when you changed the website. I'm not entirely sure. That might be able to look into that a little bit more if we could expand on that maybe over a phone call. And look, you've got a healthy amount of backlinks all coming from Australia, so that's great. So from the perspective then of the organic search, it seems that you're getting a good amount of organic search in and around when you may have had that high domain rating. But again, it's not sort of a steady incline. It's been sort of big bouts of up and down. Again, I'd need to sort of look into the site a little bit more in detail as to why. But your top 5 keywords are this. I would like to have a look at your keywords here, so let's have a look at that. Just to get an idea of what you're currently ranking for at the moment. And okay, so position 1 for your name, that's relatively easy to do. Brand names is easy to rank for. And I'm trying to see if there's anything in value. I mean, this is all being probably picked up from your blog content here. So you've got commercial here, commercial here. So it's good that you're providing this information. You're all on page 1 for that content. But it would be nice to know from you what keywords you actually would think of value, because these top ones here, that's everything that you're on page 1 for. Okay, a number, that's not very valuable there. But some of this STC rebates, that is of value because people do search for it, but the volume's low. You can see 50, 60. But if you've got here a phone number, I don't know why that has so many searches. Maybe you'll be able to enlighten me a little bit more on that. STC rebates, so just off of page 1, so there could be something we could do to boost that, to get that up, because that's got a good amount of search volume. And not a lot else here. STC solar, okay, so that could be something else as well. But just getting a general gist. So yeah, I can understand that your site's not where you want it to be, and there's definitely some areas which would need to be looked into in a little bit closer inspection. I'd like to give you a little sort of summary of what it would look like working with me as well, just to give you an idea. I do work with a solar company in a different country in the States, in Florida. So I have some understanding and experience of the market and what it's like to work within the solar space. And I've been working with them for about a year now. So first of all, the first thing I do is when I sort of take on a client is I go through the sort of strategy and analysis stage. So just to give you an idea, this comes in the form of what I call a website quality audit. Now, I'm not going to go through everything in detail, just to give you a general overview. So this basically allows me to sort of take a full analysis of all the different pages on the site, and then going through and based on the information that's, it seems to have frozen here. Okay, there you go. So to go basically going through all the information that's related to the website in all of this, it allows me to make a decision on what's happening with these pages, what are we doing with them. So I understood from this particular WordPress, as you can see, there's a number of blog categories which have no benefit of being indexed because it's just a category page. So we will go and take all of that off because that's a bunch of bloat on the site, which is only going to slow the algorithm down when it goes and crawls through your site. Here we can see there's blog posts, they all need to be left as is. But doing this website quality audit puts me into a great standing to understand what we're doing technically to the site and what we're doing from a content perspective to the site, because there's no point doing any SEO on a site unless you know how healthy it currently is. So that's the very first thing, is a website quality audit, and of course all of that information is reported back to you in a presentation. Then the next thing is sort of looking at the market, and this is just a template here, but I'll show you, it gives you sort of an understanding of what we do from a competitive side. So we'll take your site versus 3 of your top competitors, and we'll understand where you are the same as them and where you're different to them. So that might be they might be a lot older domain. I know that you said you changed over your site, so there might be a much older domain which might be playing a factor. It might be that they have an average number of images in their articles which is 10 and you're only putting 2. So this competitive audit also gives us an understanding of what are they doing that you're not and why are you not doing them. So this is also a good document, and then based off of the back of those 2 documents, then we look at the same sort of competitors, which again you've got these 5 competitors here which we've looked at from a solar perspective versus the client side, and we can see that all of these competitors on the right hand side are ranking for all of these keywords. And we can see down here, just as this example for the solar, we can see that the client's only ranking for sort of this solar installation license, and that's about it, whereas all their competitors are ranking for all of these keywords down here on the left hand side. Based on these keywords, we'll then make an understanding of how we're going to put this into the site and what stage of the journey is the customer at when they're looking at these keywords or when they're searching these keywords. So for example, if someone's searching pool heater repair costs, they're going to be pretty close to the point where they're going to be a customer, or they're at least definitely looking for someone to come and repair a pool heater they physically own. Whereas someone who has, what are the advantages of renewable energy? Well, they may just be trying to get an understanding because it's a decision they're going to make later on down the line. And that's all makes it very, very important for when you're creating the content and how to prioritize the content that you put out on the site. And then based on that, we then plan out all the content, which looks like this, and this document is basically built off of looking at what sites are currently ranking for that specific keyword. So commercial solar pool heater, we can see that the top 3 competitors, they've written about 700, 600 words. So we know that we've got to write at least 20 to 30% more from a quantity basis, but also from a quality basis as well. We want to make sure that we're not only writing more of them in quantity, but we're also including everything that they're including as a minimum, to make sure that we're doing it on a quality basis as well. So to give you an example, there's no point writing an article about the history of solar panels if your competitors are all writing about, you know, how to save the most amount of money with solar panels, because Google is like an open book test. It shows you what it wants to see for a particular keyword. So if you're not doing at least what it's showing you when you type anything into Google, well, then you're gonna miss the mark when it comes to ranking for that keyword. So based on all of that, that's how it would look. Everything's sort of planned out quite methodically, and then there's the off-page elements as well, which is building backlinks to the site as well, which, you know, there's no need to show you that on this video, but I've sort of done a quick summary. I know this video's gone over 10 minutes, I'm sorry about that, but it gives you a little bit more of an insight into what I think about your site, how it would look working with us. But the best thing to do would be to jump on a call and go through things in more detail with you. So if you do have any availability this week or next, I know it's Friday, so more ideally next week, then it would be great to have a chat with you. So thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and look forward to speaking with you soon.